Can't wait to get this thing off the trailer and get in the bed. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Rebuild It. This is episode 2 of the famous ZR1 build, and we're going to see if we can get that thing off the trailer today and go around and see exactly what's wrong with it. Hopefully it starts right and runs okay without that air filter on there. So let's get up here and see exactly what's wrong with it. Damage wise, it looks like everything from here down, like these little coolers here, are fine. Nothing, they weren't touched. It's an aluminum frame, which is welded. This crash bar is welded on there, unfortunately. So I've got to call in to my frame guy, Dan. If you can see that frame horn right there, the insurance company marked with this circle right here. So there's a little kink right here. So if you can tell by looking, it's just bent in. I mean, just a little bit, and I don't know enough about aluminum to know how hard it's going to be to straighten. This side over here, I can't really tell if it's got any bend to it or not. I don't think it does, but Dan's going to have to look at all that. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and try to find this piece right here and get it ordered, get it here. But the way I've heard about aluminum is it doesn't have forgiveness properties like steel does, as far as wanting to go back to its original shape. It's kind of like it's brittle and doesn't want to work with you as well as steel. So hopefully it's not a huge issue. But and then other damage we see on it is this side over here. There's several marks. Anywhere you see these pink marks, and that all that noise you're hearing is Finn going crazy in the background. Anyway, all these little pink marks you see are damage that the insurance company marked. So we've got little cracks and just impact cracks, just from the shock of the impact. It buckled just a little bit right here. You'll see it pushed up. So this piece right here probably needs to be replaced. I mean, it might be possible to fix it, but the bad thing is all of that is epoxied or has some kind of adhesive that sticks it to the frame. You can see back up in here, there's some of it, and it's just right through here. So somehow we have to figure out how to release all that stuff. This is like in supercar category, I mean, it's a LS9 supercharged motor, that's hand built, and 638 horsepower, I believe. Another damage I see up here in the front is the radiator. Looks like a crack right there, but it still has antifreeze in it. It's full, so we don't have any leaks, but it's been hit hard enough to damage it. So mainly it just looks like the radiator and condenser up in the front. These marks that they show on the doors, little arrow right there, I'm sure that showed that the gap was smashed in right here on both sides of the fender and the door. It's like that on the other side too, but that's because of this. I'm sure this buckle right here, that whole front fender pushed in enough to make this gap close up. But I don't see any damage at all on the door. There's damage on the windshield, so it'll have to be replaced. And what we'll probably do on that, since the dash in there, man, I can't get in it yet, but the dash is destroyed, from the airbag, so we'll have to tear the whole dash out and replace it. So I'll probably have the windshield guy come remove this windshield so I can work on the dash easier, and then he can put the new one back in after I'm finished. And I don't know how, this is all carbon fiber on the roof of these things. And of course, nothing's been cleaned up yet, but Remember, this is an 11,000 mile car, so it's had almost no use in 10 years. And these Corvettes, you know, everything, all the doors are all powered by, they're electric, so you can't open anything without having the battery charged up. So I'm gonna have to try to get this thing off the trailer in a minute. I can't even get in it. But before we loaded it on the trailer, we did put it in neutral and took the emergency brake off so I can roll it around on the trailer, roll it back behind these fenders enough to get in it, hopefully.
This is Sam. He was our last t-shirt contest winner. You too could win an incredible t-shirt like him, and your life could change forever. You could hop in your fancy BMW and head back home from a tasty lunch at Red Robin and find a rebuilt t-shirt waiting for you in your mailbox. You put it on and head back out to run some errands. But you are blown away with the incredible amount of compliments you get from everyone you meet and all the things people are going out of their way to do for you. You head to Walmart to pick up a 3-pound bag of Sour Patch Kids, your guilty pleasure, when suddenly you feel a tingle in your left arm. You look down trying to see if something is wrong, but then glance up quickly because your turn is coming. Oddly, the closer you get, the more your arm tingles. 150 foot from your turn, your left arm flies up and flips on your blinker. What in the world, you exclaim? People give you looks of pure joy and bewilderment as they pass by. A jogger even gives you a thumbs up. You turn into Walmart safely, having let people behind and in front of you know your intentions and find a parking space. You have become the first BMW owner in history to successfully use the turn signal. The point is, this shirt could change your life, but only if you enter. Winning a Rebuild t-shirt does not guarantee that your life will improve in any way. The scenario presented here is merely a possible outcome of an infinite amount of outcomes. Rebuild cannot be held responsible for your bummer of a life should you win the t-shirt. Nothing happens to you. Just know the t-shirt. It's free.
In the back of the truck, we've got the hood and the bumper that had all the parts. I think everything on the bumper is there except the chin spoiler, which I'm sure is carbon fiber, which will be very expensive. But the hood is destroyed, I think. I mean, there's a crack from here all the way up, here all the way up. As you can tell, the hood on these things had an open glass piece right here so that you could see that awesome LS9 supercharged motor. And it's just the cover of it that you see through there. So the outside of these are painted, but the underside of them is all carbon fiber, and it's just destroyed. I mean, just cracked and busted. I don't know if there's a place that there's a way to repair that enough to where it still looks good, but I seriously doubt it. And these hoods are in the $3,000 range. And we also have both headlights. The headlight there, this one is got damage where it's got the tabs busted off of it, 3 of them right there. I have to find out if that's repairable or if I have to replace that one. The other one, no broken tabs on that I see. So that's awesome. With these fenders, here's our ZR1 supercharged badge. See where they were pointing to the gap again on this fender. Lay it down here. And I don't see any, I don't understand how, but I don't see any damage on either one of the fenders. So this is just first look, but if there's not, that is a big deal, because I think these are carbon fiber also, because they're about, this fender doesn't weigh probably, I mean, I can lift it with 2 fingers. It probably doesn't weigh 2 or 3 pounds, the whole thing. Here's the engine cover. That's what you see through the glass of the hood. There's a tube that hooks to this. This hangs down up underneath the front of the bumper, and air goes in through this hole here, up through this tube and over to the brakes to cool those front brakes. Hooks to that tube right there. You can see it goes up underneath there and cools off the brakes. So then we have the other fender. I don't see any broken tabs, cracks, anything. So that's awesome. Here we have the front bumper cover. See where it's hit exactly. I mean, it's smashed, but I think every piece is on it. All that stuff, every time I do a rebuild, all those little things always surprise me about how expensive all those little inserts on the front bumper are. It does look like the logo badge is smashed, so I'll have to find another one of those. Another thing, stuck in the engine when I was loading it in New York, this little thing right here, there was 3 cups with all the fasteners. That is like gold right there. I don't even know where most of the stuff goes, but as I'm looking for it, here it is. So some body shop somewhere put it where it needs to go and saved it for me. So next thing is to be able to try to get this thing off the trailer, and we had taken the ramps off for the trip because they're like 500 pounds a piece. So I gotta get those put back on and then try to roll this thing around and get it off. And by the way, there's no damage that I could tell at all from anywhere from the windshield back this way. I mean, I don't see a scratch. Nothing. And hopefully there's some more little pieces or parts in the trunk area, because I'm missing the windshield wipers. I saw that. And I'm missing this piece that goes down here that runs up and cools the brakes. But other than that, that's all I can find that I'm missing. But maybe those are in the back, I don't know. All right, so I finally got the door open. And the reason it took so long was that on a regular jump box, you can't get a good ground with the cable length of the jump box. So you gotta open the fuse box, put your positive jump box hook up right there on the side of the fuse box. And then I had to go get a battery cables and hook to a good spot on the frame, and then run that over to the jump box connection before I finally got enough good ground to where it would open the door. So the door is now open. Let's see what we've got in here. All right, I see wipers back there. I see all sorts of little pieces of parts, so that's good. And this car smells brand new in here. Man, it's a shame that those dashes are destroyed every time my airbag goes off. That whole thing has to be replaced. Let's see if we got anything in the glove box. Nope. Man, that's terrible. No manual. All right, so I was able to get the, this was what was around the steering wheel. And normally on a Copart car, they have a big zip tie and you just cut it off. This is cable. So I got it off, and this is the key that goes up in the key fob. And if you ever get locked out of one of these things and you can't get in, you have a dead battery like our problem here, you take this key, and there is a key hole. Down here. Fills up in there like that, and that pops your trunk. So now we can get in the trunk, get our key back out, and then somewhere over here there is a wire, I think right here. Yeah, that allows us to open the door, since you can't get in it without power. So now we have the door open over there. Remember, it's been sitting for who knows how long, and it's got the air box off, so it's probably running rough. Service active handling system. Oil pressure is good. I don't even know what all the gauges are. There's fuel down at the bottom. It's probably boost or something right there. Alright, so let's try to get this thing off without tearing anything up. Alright, so we got it off with no issues. Didn't rub anywhere. Man, look at that little supercharger belt. That clicking we kept hearing was the wipers were on. We didn't know it. So I guess it's running a little, the idle's probably a little rough because of the fact that this sensor right here on the throttle body is just open out and open, so it's not getting the correct readings. So hopefully when we get a new air cleaner, that'll change that. Let's hear what it sounds like. The only lights I see are the brake and the traction control and the airbag. So airbag, of course, will go off when we send off the SRS module. There's the selective ride deal. It's on tour now. You can change it to sport, and I'm not sure what all that does. And then you can turn off all performance, traction. I have to find a manual for this thing. I'm not sure what all this does. Has Navi. Whoa, what's this going on here? Oh, there's where your DVD. Okay. Hey, we have a DVD in here. Oh, that's your. That's when you still had to buy a disc for your navigation. And we have a. Guy had him an Eagle CD, Billy Joel and the Eagles for his vet. It does have all the carbon fiber on the inside here, 6-speed manual, and the heads-up display. So it's got the RPM attack on there, all that stuff. We'll go through all this more as we get into this car, but I just want to let it sit and run a while, get it warmed up, and make sure everything works. Yeah, temperature's looking good, all that. So I went ahead and ordered a air filter, the whole housing, because there's my destroyed one, as you can see. Broke off like that. And here's the new one. So I'm gonna go ahead and install that and then start it up and see how the idle's different. Hopefully it's nice and smooth. Alright, so the new one is installed. It's kind of hanging a little low there. I guess it mounts on something that was destroyed. It's probably supposed to go more like that, but anyway, it should suffice for the airflow that we need. So let's start it up and see what it sounds like. Oh yeah, way better. Before it was just surging back and forth, so now we've got some actual solid, like 700 RPMs that are going. So that's what we wanted. Before, that RPM attack was just bouncing up and down. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Rebuild It. Hope you enjoyed it. I know there was a lot of talking that went on in this episode, but it was necessary to try to figure out exactly what all needed to be ordered on the ZR1 and just make sure it was going to run right and get it off the trailer and all that stuff. So it was really a lot of fun for me because I've never even really been in a supercar before or been around them. I've just seen them at car shows and stuff like that. So there's a lot of exploring for me personally, and I enjoyed it a lot. This is a t-shirt episode, so if you guys would like a free Rebuild It t-shirt, just comment down below. You have to be a subscriber and comment down at the bottom, ZR1. And you do that, we'll do a random pick and let you know next week who the winner is. And also just thanks for watching, and make sure you remember to hit the little subscribe button and the bell. You want to turn on your notifications so you'll know when we get new episodes out on the ZR1. So we'll see you next week.
And always remember, don't retire it if you can rebuild it. See you guys next week. Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in and watching this week's episode of Rebuild It. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any awesome content. Have a good one.